When I made a video about Muslim students acting badly at a secular state school, I got a lot of comments suggesting that the obvious answer was to have the Muslim pupils attend Muslim schools. Job done. I think I might have suggested something along those lines myself, by the way. And then I read this. UK school promotes radical Islam, anti-Semitism and jihad. It says here. Let's talk about that. I'm Graniopteryx. So, we have this little problem, don't we? First of all, having Muslim children attend secular schools. Now, obviously, there are many who just want to get an education and get on with things, and they keep their heads down. The trouble is, there are also many who don't want so much an education as the opportunity to assert dominance. And unfortunately, the Muslim communities aren't strong enough to fight those. And the non-Muslim communities feel constrained by political correctness. So you get situations where Muslim pupils in ordinary secular schools cause disruption because they profess themselves offended by certain parts of the curriculum. And I'm not talking only about that case we all know about in Batley, where a teacher had to run for his life after showing a cartoon of Muhammad in a religious education class. It goes beyond Muhammad. There was a bit of a stink over an art class in France quite recently. Here, let's have a look at this. Muslim pupils who spark row by taking offence over Renaissance painting of nude women shown during class, then wrongly accusing the teacher of racism, will be disciplined, France's Education Minister vows. Well, France's Education Minister is showing a bit more backbone than the British education authorities of whatever stripe they are. There's the school. And apparently these Muslim pupils voiced outrage after their teacher showed them a Renaissance painting of nude women. And this is the painting. It's Diana and Actaeon by the Italian painter Giuseppe Cesari, and it portrays a Greek myth in which the hunter Actaeon bursts in at a site where the goddess Diana and her nymphs are bathing. Didn't he get torn apart by his own dogs or something afterwards? Anyway, the students wrongly accused the staff member of racism. Wrongly accused is male speak, I think, for lying. I'm reminded of the Patty incident where the teacher, I don't know what he showed. Maybe that was a cartoon as well. Anyway, one of the Muslim pupils went home, bigged up a whole story about her teacher's attitude. The parents went crazy, did a social media blast, and then some radical walks into the school and puts an end to Mr. Patty. And this is a good example. If one of my kids had come home with a story about a teacher having behaved badly in some way, I would have given the teacher an opportunity to speak. First of all, I might have gone to the headmaster to ask for a meeting, but I wouldn't have started a whole blast on social media just on the word of one of my children. I would have tried to find out what was going on. The fact that these parents immediately flew to the defence of their poor suffering kids tells me more about the parents, that they are just waiting for an excuse to cause disruption. That's how it looks to me. Female staff member at Jacques Cartier in Issou, west of, I'm not going to call that Paris, am I? Paris, was reportedly left fearing for her life after she showed the 17th century masterpiece. I don't like it that much, but that's another story. Diana and Actaeon. I'm interrupting to remind you to click like and to subscribe and share. Also, I'm constantly being told that YouTube removes subscriptions, so please click the notification bell and check that you really are subscribed. All the links to my other channels are in the description, including links to donation sites. I'm always grateful, of course, for donations, but simply clicking like is the best thing you can do for this video and my channel generally. Thank you. Minister Gabriel Attal visited the school on Monday and said that a disciplinary procedure would be launched against the students who are responsible for this situation and who have, he said here, admitted the facts. Right. Well, that's one situation, but the problem is, you see, that the school was sent into a turmoil by that. And then there's the other point. Some pupils make a big issue out of religious observance, such as prayers, which then interrupt the running of the teaching schedule. Let's go back to that article on the French school, because down here there's a little demonstration outside. It says here, a sign hung outside the school claimed that incidents at the school were up while resources to deal with them were in short supply. Actually, moyen means averages. So what they're saying here is incidents are up, here's the arrow, and averages, I'm assuming they mean academic averages, are down. Right, so they're seeing that the pupils aren't learning as well because of all this disruption. So, of course, the answer seems to be that perhaps they should just run their own schools. And then we have stuff like this. Radicalization risk at 6 Muslim private schools, according to Ofsted. Pupils at 6 small Muslim private schools in East London are at risk of extremist views and radicalization, says Ofsted's chief inspector. Sir Michael Wilshaw said pupils' physical and educational welfare is at serious risk following a series of emergency inspections. It looks like they're at risk because of the emergency inspections. After a series of emergency inspections, Sir Michael Wilshaw said the pupils' physical and educational welfare is at serious risk. Yeah. He said all the schools focus too heavily on Islamic teachings. And then there's this, which is published on a blog. I can't find the original posting now. The UK school, we must kill them. And then this is the subtext. You have to kill him. Do you understand? That teacher was talking about apostates, by the way. But having seen that, would you imagine that such schools are the answer? And certainly not in Sweden, where nearly all the Muslim schools have been closed down now because of radicalism. But then, you see, we're back to this. Put them in secular schools and you get, as you can see from the Michaela school example, the sort of disruption that could close a school down. So, if you're expecting an answer from me, well, you're going to be disappointed. I can suggest a couple of solutions. The only couple of which I can think of is that we need an education department with principals and a set of teachers' unions with backbone. Well, I can dream, can't I? Till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the Graniopteryx design or Grambo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.graniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.